A goddess of chaos named Eris is monitoring the state of the earth. There is a prince's ship being chased by a pirate ship. Eris sends an octopus creature named Seduce to attack them. Sinbad, the pirate ship's captain, intends to steal from the prince's ship. Sinbad is very strong, he can trounce many royal troops easily. It turns out that the vessel belongs to Produce, Sinbad's childhood friend. Sinbad intends to steal the Book of Peace, which serves to protect 12 cities. Even though Sinbad is his best friend, Sinbad would keep stealing the book from Produce, because it can be sold again at a high price. And then, something happened while Produce was fighting Sinbad.
Don't get all heroic.
Seduce attacks the Produce ship, and Sinbad's dog Spike retaliates. Since Sinbad's vessel is being eliminated, Sinbad must defeat Seduce first. Seduce was successfully lured to eat the bomb. Unfortunately, it has no effect at all on the creature. And then, Sinbad has to work with Produce to deal with Seduce.
Let's go! Now!
Even though Seduce was defeated, Sinbad was pulled into the sea. Then Eris came to save Sinbad. Then let him live and grant whatever he wishes. Sinbad must get the Book of Peace and give it to Eris with one condition. If he's got the book, Sinbad must follow the stars outside the horizon to enter Tartarus, the residence of Eris. After that, Sinbad is released.
So gullible.
Sinbad, you're alive!
According to the objective of his mission, Prince Produce brought the Book of Peace to Syracuse. Then King Dimas celebrated the success of Produce's mission. However, Sinbad and his band of robbers also came to Syracuse. Produce welcomes them and invites them to party together.
Weapons.
Sinbad is introduced to Produce with his fiancée Marina, the ambassador from Thrace. Strangely, Sinbad suddenly left for some reason. Furthermore, Sinbad also refrained from stealing the Book of Peace. On the other hand, Marina actually really wanted to cross the ocean to see the world. Then King Dimas came to invite them back to the party. In the Book of Peace storage room, Eris disguised herself as Sinbad to steal the book. The original Sinbad was arrested for being accused of stealing. Then Sinbad tells Produce that this is the work of goddess Eris, and the book must be in Tartarus' house. Representatives from 12 cities still found Sinbad guilty and would be sentenced to death. Then Produce comes to his defense and believes Sinbad's words that the book was stolen by Eris. Produce wants Sinbad to steal the book again. But instead, it was Produce who would replace Sinbad for the death penalty. Sinbad was given 10 days to get the Book of Peace. However, beyond requested days, Produce will be immediately executed.
Oh, and Sinbad. Don't be late.
Sinbad initially did not want to go to Tartarus and wanted to go to Fiji instead to live freely. But Kale wants Sinbad to care more about his best friend, Produce. Then Sinbad assures Kale that Produce won't be killed. Sinbad persisted in going to Fiji. But apparently, Marina is in the ship's warehouse and wants to help Sinbad get the Book of Peace. However, Sinbad tells Marina that the book's theft is not his responsibility, and Sinbad will keep going to Fiji anyway. Then, Marina bribes Sinbad with gems to force him. Finally, Sinbad agreed to take the Book of Peace. But Marina will lock up Sinbad so he doesn't make any mess.
Living quarters.
Rat, Sinbad's accomplice who likes to hang around, advises Sinbad not to go to Tartarus. None of the sailors survived on the way there. But Sinbad ignored it and was going to Tartarus anyway. On the other hand, Eris, who knows Sinbad's plan, tries to stop him. Marina broke through the barn door, and the ship reached the Dragon's Teeth, a place with big rocks and a narrow path that slaughtered many sailors. But suddenly, All the crew were distracted by the singing of the siren, a Greek mythological creature that can make all men unconscious if they hear her voice. Because of that, Marina hastily saved the ship and all the crew.
Rat!
The deck now! Get Sinbad!
Luckily, Marina managed to save them. All the crew lauds Marina's bravery except for Sinbad. He didn't say thank you at all and blamed Marina for destroying some parts of his boat. Sinbad finally thanked Marina so his crew and Spike didn't hate him. In prison, King Dimas will secretly take Produce away, because he was sure Sinbad would not go to Tartarus. On the other hand, Produce believes Sinbad will come to his aid. Sinbad and his group stop by a small island and collect tree sap to repair damaged ship parts. Now, all the crew has a lot of respect for Marina. But Sinbad still maintains his prestige until they end up fighting again.
Wouldn't know how to fix a broken fingernail.
It wasn't a small island, and it turned out to be a giant fish. They all managed to get back to the boat and stuck the hook into the fish's body so the ship could run faster. Because everyone was seasick, the rope was finally cut. Marina, who has made up with Sinbad, is curious about how Sinbad and Produce used to be friends. Then Sinbad said he was saved by Produce from thugs, and they fought together. Then suddenly, Eris tried to trouble them again by freezing the sea there. Not only that, but she also sent a giant bird to them. Marina, who was about to be eaten by birds, managed to escape. Then Sinbad went alone to save Marina. Sinbad managed to find Marina, and then they both survived, but only Marina, whom congratulated by Sinbad's crew. After that, the avalanche of buildings there managed to pave the way for them. In the evening, Marina comes to Sinbad and thanks him for helping, because she loves the sea so much. Then Sinbad gives the ship's helm to Marina and said that he and Produce wanted to be in the Royal Navy. But as time goes by, their paths in life become different. Sinbad admits that he fell in love when he saw Marina for the first time. This is why Sinbad is jealous to see Produce engaged to Marina. But suddenly, they arrived at the gate of Tartarus, which is at the world's end. But the sea area didn't reach that gate. Then, Sinbad remembers Eris' words to follow the stars outside the horizon line. After that, Sinbad mobilized all his crew to get ready in their respective positions. Because the ship couldn't reach the gate, there are only Sinbad and Marina that could go inside. They are both stranded in a bumpy desert and about to be attacked by Greek mythological creatures summoned by Eris. But Eris resisted the attacks from her pets to welcome them. Eris congratulates them all, as no humans have ever reached Tartarus before. It turned out that Eris had planned all of this. He also knew that Produce would sacrifice for Sinbad, and Produce would die in the end. There will be no successor to the Syracuse kingdom, and they would gradually collapse. Even though Sinbad tries to save Produce, he still betrays his best friend because he has stolen Produce's true love, Marina. After that, Eris gave him a dare. If Sinbad won, Eris promised to provide him with the Book of Peace. The game is, Sinbad must answer honestly. If Sinbad doesn't get the book, will Sinbad continue sailing with the woman of his dreams, Marina, or return to Syracuse and receive the death penalty? Be a thief or be a hero? Then Sinbad replied he was going back to Syracuse. And then...
Lying!
Sinbad confirmed that, deep down, Eris wanted to go with Marina. On the other hand, Sinbad must save his best friend, Produce. However, Marina doesn't want to see Sinbad die if she returns to Syracuse, because Marina loves Sinbad very much. 10 days have passed. The day Proteus will be executed has finally come. Sinbad kept his promise to return to Syracuse even though he did not manage to take his book. Now it is Sinbad who will be sentenced to death until Eris comes and angrily says that Sinbad is selfish and there is no way he can do this. Sinbad was initially confused about what Eris meant, but in the end, he understood that their agreement was still valid. Sinbad didn't lie and actually came back to save Proteus. As promised, the peace book was finally returned by Eris and left there. Then finally, 12 cities are now back at peace. The Book of Peace is returned to King Dimas. She thanks him and apologizes for not trusting Sinbad. Proteus invites Sinbad to a party, but Sinbad must go to his dream place, Fiji. And then, Proteus and Marina have to part with him. Proteus understands very well that Marina wants to live in the ocean. And he also knows Marina is in love with Sinbad. Then Proteus wanted Marina to follow her heart.
We're ready to sail.
All right.
Sinbad is about to start his voyage again, but then,
Replace these rig joints and ropes need the support.
how happy Sinbad is to see Marina return. And in the end, they both live happily ever after.
Spike! Down!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out this other clips from Recap Go. Consider to like and subscribe.